And of course, you're a musician, but I gotta wonder, like, do you take some of like the comedy aspect on stage with you and kind of mess around and do some improv, that kind of thing?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something you have to kind of like bring something to the audience to have them be like, we're all together. This is just a weird night where we're all hanging out together.
Mm.
And whatever that is at that moment in time, um, you know, it could be with humor. It could just be like, guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, I have no idea what the I'm doing, like.
Hello, people of the world. Welcome back to another episode of Sam Sessions. Back here in the Acoustic A Room, as always, it's a special day when we get to do these interviews. To my right, good friend of the shop, we got Zach Telander.
How we doing?
Doing pretty good, Zach. How you feeling today?
Awesome. Just got out of a lesson right over there.
Yeah. You've been taking lessons with JD Pinley. It's something I have noticed about you. You're talented as is, but you seem very determined to constantly try and evolve and
Be the first to admit that I'm not, a musician's musician.
Mm.
I've played music my whole life, but it was the drums. So I played in bands growing up, and I played with my dad and his band. And then I took a big break from music. And then in order to write songs, I needed to kind of teach myself enough guitar to do that. So I did. And then I got into some pretty, not bad habits, but it's like I feel sometimes I'm trapped and I'm doing the same thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm 34 years old and I'm taking somewhat beginner guitar lessons, but it's for the purpose of like, okay, 10 years from now when I'm 44 and I have a couple more albums, like, will I have different sounds that I can really look back on and be like, I'm glad I developed those skills. So that's part of my determination is like, how can it result in a different album in the future?
Are you working on any albums at the moment?
Yeah, finished the second completely self-funded album,
Mhm.
and that'll be coming out in probably a month or so.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that, and working on something in the future with a label potentially. So
Now with this album coming out, are you feeling nervous, pure excitement, a little bit of both?
oh, never nervous.
Really?
No, I think as far as like growing on Spotify or growing some sort of audience digitally,
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta push send. You
Yeah.
have to. I am in no place to be a perfectionist because no one knows who I am. If you search like that's the thing. You can't act like you're some sort of bona fide certified professional if nobody knows who you are. Be who you are and press send. That's one thing I've noticed.
Interesting.
So I'm like, song's good enough. I believe in it. It's came from me.
Yeah.
Every song I've ever written started with me holding a guitar on my porch or in my house and writing something out.
Mhm.
And then we go to the studio and we put all the parts together, whether we record it live or we track it. That's it.
Mhm.
I can't perfect all of that to the point where I don't produce. So it's more about being like, I don't want to develop who I am and then share it to the world. I just want to share who I am to the world, and I can develop while that occurs. They both can happen simultaneously. So
Yeah.
I never have any nerves about releasing an album. I imagine, if I start working with this label, like, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of pressure there, but I'm kind of used to it by now. I'm kind of used to like being weathered by like this idea of like not having paralysis by analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm used to that now. Like all of the parts of my brain, you get into the studio and you comp a vocal track 150 times and you're like, but maybe we should just redo, at that point you're lost in the sauce. And I know that I won't get to that point, but it's always a battle,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's kind of a superpower knowing when it's time to put something out there.
For me, that's my thing is like because I'm not a musician's musician, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
and I've written some songs that some people like. It's like, okay, well, that's what people like.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten feedback. I've done the R&D,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't all of a sudden pull that out, because then what do I have?
Mhm.
I can't shred on the guitar, I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always being like, what are you known for, at least among your small audience? Well, you're known for having these songs that people like. So don't inhibit that.
Mhm.
Do not inhibit that. So that's where I'm at. That's how I develop everything. It's from there.
I think
Songwriting is my thing that I've gotten good feedback on. So why would I take that away?
mhm.
Let me guess you're tired of the country boy moving up and moving on. You throw a fit soon as he gets a hit, 'cause he ain't singing that same old song. Well, he's on the greener pastures, he's got some mouths to feed. Well, he's done paid his dues and he's already cut his teeth. But I don't think anyone's ever pointed back at you. Just wait till you got some things. Yeah, people change and maybe you should too. You're gatekeeping, think you're all seeing, but when you're pressed, you ain't got a reason. Build them up, but then you stop when they hit that mountaintop. So go on, cast your stone. If you think you're bulletproof, you won't know what it's like to win, but at least you'll never lose. And I don't think you'd ever think that. 'Cause no one's ever pointed back at you. Just wait till you got some things. Your people change and maybe you should too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People change. Oh, people change. People change. Oh, people change. Yeah, come on. I said people change. Oh, people change. People change. Oh, people change. That away.
Mhm. And when it comes to songwriting, what does your process look like? Are you drawing from real life experiences or deep thoughts that you have in the middle of the night? A little bit of both?
Yes, definitely a little bit of both. I
Mhm.
have many songs that are like I was in a very bad place, many songs where I was in a very good place, but other songs kind of start where I'll be playing something on the guitar. So like I went on YouTube and I saw some dude playing open D and he's like, "This is really cool." And I'm like, "That is really cool." Tuned my guitar to open D, started messing around, and then I just kind of hummed something. And
Mm.
then I said something, and then I go, okay, let's build a song around that thing you just said, and then find the deeper meaning, and then you can kind of create the song out of that. I've
Mhm.
been doing that a lot lately.
Mhm.
This song I have called "The Forest." I was like playing this riff in open D, and I just go, "Well, I've been running through my days." Like, okay, running through my days. Just how can I create from that?
Mhm.
That's all it was. That's how I started the song, and then I just started writing verses.
Yeah.
Sometimes that take like each songwriting session is like 15 to 45 minutes long, and I'll get maybe a verse, maybe I'll just get a half a verse. Maybe I'll cook, dude, and I'll get the entire song done in 15 minutes.
Mhm.
But I never struggle to write.
Yeah.
At least right now, I just don't.
And that's great. So is it regimented? Do you set aside like a certain time throughout the day where it's like I spend this time writing, or is it when it comes to you, it comes to you?
So no, because this is like my whole. It's like life or death. Me and John say this like to each other all the time. It's literally life or death. Like
Mhm.
if I don't have this, at least for myself, like if I don't have the ability to play guitar and sing a song for myself, like it's over.
Mhm.
So what I do, I'll constantly, whether it's on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, if I see someone performing a song, I watch them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I watch them more. I'm like, got to get my guitar.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting my guitar, I go grab it and I'll start playing. And then I'll start playing that song that I was working on before. And then I'll be like, let's see if we can write something. Be like, I played my guitar for 4 hours yesterday and it was not a problem at all because it was like, 5 45-minute sessions. I'm lucky enough to where I have that ability.
Mhm.
Thank God I have that ability at 34 years old, given the work that I've done leading up to this point. But yeah, so it's not a regimented thing.
Mhm.
It's just inspiration all the time.
It comes organically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I watch, like, I'll literally see Sturgill Simpson play for 30 seconds and I'll be like, gotta grab the guitar, off, guitar, play.
Yeah.
Like it just has to happen like that.
That's cool. I love how maybe not easily is the right word, but how quickly motivated you are and inspired to keep going.
For
That's a
sure.
great thing
For
for
sure.
sure. How long have you been in Austin now?
A little over 5 years now.
Did you move here because of music, or was it a multitude of things?
I didn't have, so I'm from Chicago originally,
Mhm.
and I was in Texas already working a different job in a different location. And that was actually in College Station up in Texas A&M. I was actually a strength and conditioning coach up there.
Mm.
And I didn't have to be back in Chicago particularly.
Mhm.
I could live anywhere and work. It's just like, did I want to go home to my family or did I want to move 90 minutes from, to a city? I knew I wanted to move to a city
Mhm.
and it was probably going to be Chicago, but I was like, okay, well, I can drive 15 hours or I can drive 90 minutes. And that was it.
Yeah.
So I just decided, so that's how I came here.
We're happy to have you here for sure. It's been a pleasure having you in the shop. That's how I've gotten to know you, is just, hanging out in here, playing, taking lessons, the whole thing. I know that you just got done doing playing overseas. You were in Europe on
Mhm,
tour.
mhm.
Was that your first big tour?
Yeah, and it wasn't even that big. We we got back and we're like, oh well, we could have done 4 or 5 times that amount of gigs. I think we
Right.
only did like 7 total gigs,
Mhm.
and we were hot.
Yeah.
We were like, oh wow, we're really charged up and ready to go.
Well,
But it was a nice little. It was like we got back and we're like, I see the future.
mhm.
You know what I mean? So it was a nice test, really good feedback, and I think the group of guys we're like we really like each other. So
Mhm.
it all went very smoothly and we're ready to do that again for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's of course you always want more, but you did, the flight alone is super long. You're over there for a week or two.
Mhm.
It's a big event, no doubt. What I gotta imagine, you guys probably learned quite a bit about each other. Maybe you didn't know before. Were there some learning experiences and learning curves on tour?
I don't know. It just if we were all it felt like we were in the like a dorm room like at
Yeah.
camp. Like it just
Yeah.
like we're in London and we're like at our hotel, like, guys, like get ready for the gig, We got a sold out show and like we played our final gig over there was in London and it was at this place called Camden Assembly.
Mhm.
Tiny room, probably 200 cap, and it was wall to wall slammed with people.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Like I could do that every single night. I could do that. I'd love to get tired of that.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know?
That's an awesome way to look at it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and we were just like the whole time we were just giddy.
Yeah. Right in the highs. So cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love to see it.
think I wanna be just like you, but I don't know where to start. Is it the boots, the hats, the jeans, the two-stepping on the scene? Well, it's music that I'm after, I'll come clean. I like the way you say y'all, Waylon, Willie, and them all. And I hope that you don't mind if I answer that southern call. Oh, 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 oh. I like the way you say y'all, Waylon, Willie, and them all. And I hope that you don't mind if I answer that southern call. I think I'll head up north when my job down here is done. But for whatever it's worth, I have only just begun. So I'll wear these boots with pride, up and down 35. I'll make it clear as I can, I'm a southern city man. Oh, well, I'll wear these boots with pride, up and down 35. I'll make it clear as I can, I'm a southern city man. I'll make it clear as I can, I'm a southern city man. I'll make it clear as I can, I'm a southern city man.
You know, it's interesting to me because I have yet to see you on stage and I look forward to getting to see it. But I know the kind of personality you have just in person and, you know, like even things outside of like your Instagram is like fucking hilarious and tons of fun.
Mhm.
And of course you're a musician, but I got to wonder, like, do you take some of like the comedy aspect on stage?
To just like walk up on stage and then there's people just looking at you and you're playing for them and then it's quiet, you know?
Mhm.
There's something you have to kind of like bring something to the audience to have them be like, we're all together. This is just a weird night where we're all hanging out together.
Mm.
And whatever that is at that moment in time, you know, it could be with humor. It could just be like, guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, you know, like I almost every gig, I'm like, I don't, you know, I'm glad everyone's having a good time because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing up here, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it probably like really endears you to the crowd too, because anytime I'm in a crowd, I'm looking at the person on stage. I'm like, they know exactly what they're doing, and they're the professional, and they've been here before. And to hear the person on stage be like, "Hey, I'm just here too." By the way,
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
kind of like makes you feel like you're all in the same room together. It brings you closer.
Yeah, I mean, and like, don't get it twisted. Like, we're very professional about what we do. And, you know, if we play the same 12, 13, 14, 15 song set, like, we're going to slam. Like, we did while we were out there. But at the same time, it's like, dude, no less than 6 months ago, I'm in my room by myself, or I'll play a gig at, somewhere on 6th Street in front of 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what's more important than anything, whether it's skill, practice, is just like, I'm so into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that you guys can see, I hope that I can show that to people. And I think that's what turns people on.
Definitely.
oh my God, these guys live and breathe this shit. It's life and death for them.
Hmm.
That's really cool.
I think anybody is attracted to somebody when they can see like how much passion they have for whatever it is they're passionate about. Like
For sure.
yeah, I could have zero interest in like film history, but if I'm listening to somebody who's like extremely passionate about film history, I'm at least like, wow, that's a really cool thing. Like how much he's into it and
For
how
sure.
much he loves it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it definitely bleeds through. It bleeds to the screen, bleeds to your music. From you being on stage, you can feel it, and it's a cool thing. Do you have a highlight moment from this last tour?
Yeah, I think, well, my family came out.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was really, really cool.
That's special.
My sisters and my parents, and they were standing right over there, and I was able to be like, my family's here. My mom and dad are right there. And like the crowd was like, oh my God, to them, and
Yeah.
made them feel really special.
That's cool.
So that was probably a peak moment for me. And then we went straight from that London show. The following day, we flew to Denver, played a show in Fort Collins, and then we played a final show in Denver. And that show in Denver was crazy.
Yeah.
We had to backline our instruments from these other dudes, practice drum set and practice amps, and they were like pretty much toys that
Oh,
we were
wow.
playing out of. Yeah, like it was. I'm serious. Like they'll admit like they were really bad pieces of equipment. And we destroyed.
Yeah.
I mean, John was playing out of $100 amp, and it was this tiny little Marshall, like this big Marshall. And then what was Roach playing? He there was like 3 of the tubes were broken. Tiny little Fender, and people were boogieing, man. We were crushing. We crushed.
Yeah.
And yeah, the sound guy was great. That's big shout out to the sound guy. But that was another peak moment for me, because we were just like, man, we were just up in London, sold out. Now we're playing out like on this porch,
Mhm.
in Denver with shitty gear. Like we're kind of like, this show's gonna suck. And then we just like we brought it, and the crowd was nuts.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a peak moment. I think actually one of the things that I always say is just high standards, low expectations, and sometimes no expectations. The word expect really messes people up, especially in music. You expect certain things, and it's like you don't know what the future is going to be. You have no idea. And so we had no expectations going into that. But the standard is always high if you believe in your music, right? Because now you believe you're playing good music. That's the standard. The standard is good music. Great. So we can always have that as our lowest common denominator going forward. We love the music. It's good music. We love the music. It's good music. Don't expect anything and go out, believe in the music. And then, who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
And that Denver gig was like a prime example of it. It was so fun. And the thing, the high standard thing, what I've realized with music is that it's inherently come to me. I don't have to be like, there's certain guys that I see, like I mentioned Sturgill before, or like the Red Clay Strays. For me, like that's the standard, but it really just comes down to, I press play. I like what I hear. That's the standard. If I'm playing and I don't like what I hear, I haven't reached my own standard. So just like what you hear, believe in what you hear, and that's it. And then practice and practice and practice and practice. But it's that sort of thing comes natural. It's the expectation of, we're going to sell out this gig. We're going to do this, by this time next year, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. That can kind of mess you up because, if you don't, what happens if you don't? Are you still going to like this? Are you still going to want to be down to do this? And the answer for me is yes. So I don't like to set myself up like that at all.
Yeah.
Minimize expectations 100%.
You talked about maybe doing some work with a label in the future. I know you have shows coming up at Saxon. Is there anything that like really stands out in the near future that you're really looking forward to that gets you excited? And I'll be honest, you kind of strike me as a person that I could ask that any day and you'd be like, tomorrow. I can't wait. Tomorrow's going to be sick.
Yeah. Really. Like I told these guys 2 weeks ago, hey, let's go to the studio. Can everyone make it? We did. We did a live performance in studio. It was so good. We didn't cut anything. We literally, no monitors, no headsets, nothing. We just played and listened to each other, and we liked it so much. That's going on the record. Then we tracked a song after that. That song slams. Like, we love that. That was like, these guys just came in and did that. And it's like, they love doing it. I love having them. I love working with them. It's amazing. So that ability to just, like, there's no cancerous part of this. There's no hard, oh, God, we got to do this thing. It's like, we're all so stoked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment where you find that thing where it's like, oh, this is really, I'm not feeling it, you kind of learn how to work past that. But that's why it's hard for me to answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you stoked about? It's like, well, if something comes up, I'll let you know, you know?
Yeah.
But I think, just releasing this album, I'm excited for it just because, like, I'm done, I'm done with that. But it's just anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Like, what am I most excited for? It's to play a few songs for you guys. Like, I'm really excited to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's great, man. You have an incredible attitude about it. And you're on fire right now. And I can't wait to see like the rest of what you have for us. It's going to be awesome.
Every day's a bonus, brother.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Zach.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
All right, this one's called Yeah Right.
Oh, oh, there's a force beside me. Oh, oh, she's a rare design. Go slow while we get the timing. Tiptoeing around the line. 'Cause I get so caught up in my head, and I know you can relate. There's a calming voice that cuts through the noise, and it's something I appreciate. Yeah, right, that's nice, that's what I'm talking about. And I won't think twice, not a shadow of a doubt. I can feel it coming. That force pulls me ahead to a place where I've stopped running, where I leave nothing unsaid. 'Cause I get so caught in my head, and I know you can relate. There's a calming voice that cuts through the noise, and it's something I appreciate. Yeah, right, that's nice, that's what I'm talking about. And I won't think twice, not a shadow of a doubt. I'm a man, just a man, who's floating through with a voice now loud because of you, because of you. That's what I'm talking about. And I won't think twice, not a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, right, that's nice, that's what I'm talking about. And I won't think twice now, not a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, right, that's nice, that's what I'm talking about. I won't think twice, not a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.